So I'm going to start with the webmaster oath. On my honor, I'll do my best to publish my site using a CMS, to write my own content instead of scrape, to keep my code up to date, and to reveal any affiliate links. So I hope that was funny for somebody. I'm going to take this off.
It's been twit-picked.
Okay, good. It's already online, folks. So I'm Andy Commons, and I have a variety of things I do in life, and one of those is help people with their online marketing, and part of that is search engine optimization. So when we decided to do this little talk, not soon after, I got a call from Monica saying, Brad would like to have a contest to see if who can get a site, a brand new website, to rank highest on Google within 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks ago today. And I said, okay. So they said, okay, it's going to be for the words Misoula Beer. So we both got to work. The rules were supposed to be that I could only do white hat, clean, above board types of things with my new site, and Brad would do the black hat, underhanded, tricky stuff. Not that he normally does that, but he just wanted to see what would happen if he did. And so the results are in. I'm going to talk about that real first. So MisoulaBeer.info is my site. I came in at 11th on Google, but number 1 on Yahoo, Bing, AltaVista, and all the web. DrinkMisoulaBeer.com is his site. He came in number 4 on Google, and then 5, 4, 3, 3 on the others. So we both did very well. He beat me on Google, and that was the contest, so I have to give him the win in 2 weeks on Google. Now, will he last longer than mine? We probably will never know, because I'll probably take mine down tonight. But this is the way it kind of worked out for me over the last week, where on the 11th, I was nowhere, 12th, nowhere, 13th, I finally appeared on Google in spot 10, and that was the same way until the 14th. I guess I was checking a lot that day. On the 14th, all of a sudden I appeared on Yahoo in number 1, and then I fell back to 11, and it has stayed that way the last 3 days. So still not bad for doing pure white hat stuff to get a brand new site, almost the first page of Google in 2 weeks. So how did I do it? Well, first thing I did is I tried to use the words in my domain name. So I used MisoulaBeer.info. Yeah, it was MisoulaBeer.info. So that's one of the things you can do, is just try to, if you're starting a new website, you could try to use your keywords in the domain. With all these things, there's debate as to how much value they have. I'm not saying this is the golden rule. It's always changing, but today, this is one thing they say can be useful. Another is just do keyword research. Now, this would be if you were doing a site on another topic and you had more than one keyword you were trying to rank for. Our case was kind of easy since we only had to rank for one thing. Although I'm probably ranking for other things like, I don't know, History of Misoula Beer. I think I'm ranking really well for Missoula Highlander beer. I might be near the top of the search engines for that. So then, how you name your pages is important for your site. So instead of naming it /product1.html for a page about a product, you probably want to put in wilsontennisracket.html. Use your keywords in your page names. Tagging, so your H1 tags, your title tag, the content on your page, and even the alt tag on your images, if they have your keywords in them, they can be helpful for your search engine ranking. You can go overboard, and if you just put the same keyword in everything, the search engines might figure it out and give you trouble. Site speed is a new factor that Google has said is important. They're going to look at how fast your site loads. If it's really image heavy and it's really on a slow server, they're going to ding you in the rankings for that. Internal linking, that's pointing at other pages on your own site using anchor tags from the other pages. Does that make sense? Linking around within your own site using text. And then speaking of anchor text, this is where you have the words that are underlined and clickable. That's what's called anchor text. So a a page that said, read about our SEO services here, you're going to start ranking for the word here. Instead, you want to do read about our SEO services, and that's the phrase that's going to start ranking. So how do you improve your rankings? Through clustering. By the way, I stole these slides from a guy named Brian Horn. So I can't take credit for most of these images. Yeah, that was, it wasn't how to do presentations. The presentation's separate. So this was an example of trying to make one page rank for everything under the sun versus breaking it out into lots of different pages where each page is targeting just a couple different phrases. You can really optimize your inbound links, your on-site things to try to rank that site. There's something called PageRank sculpting, which is basically the, well, you know what PageRank is probably. It's this ranking that Google gives to pages, and if you have the toolbar, the Google toolbar, you can see what PageRank is. And because pages don't vote for themselves, you can either accumulate that PageRank by getting links from high-ranking sites to link to you, and once you get that, you can guide into your subpages where that ranking goes, what the link juice, we call it. And so you don't want to just link to every page on your site. You can use something called nofollow tags to close off and have more rank flow to the pages that you really care about instead of letting it be distributed evenly. So look into nofollow tags and how you can sculpt that page rank if you want to learn more about that one. You can also make sure that you don't pass off PageRank to certain sites that you don't want to using nofollow links. And that's so inside the link code you can say nofollow, which will tell Google and whoever don't pass PageRank away from this page to someone else. A lot of blogs are doing that now with their comments. People figured out, oh, if I just put a comment on this blog, I'll get PageRank for it. So they put in nofollow. Wikipedia used to pass PageRank, now it doesn't. Another, just keep adding content. The search engines are looking for sites that are being updated consistently. They look like there's someone alive and kicking. The lights are home, the lights are on, and someone's home. So this is an example of the #1 result for click here is the Adobe Reader, because everybody who has a PDF on their site puts a little note that says, to download the reader, click here. And so the word, if you Google click here, you'll probably see Adobe Reader as the #1 result. Again, you want to get links from other places. You can get them from authoritative domains. You want to make sure you have lots of different domains. You want to have them link deeply into your site, not just your home page. Some local links from people near you, and then also that anchor text I talked about. Make sure when they link to you that they don't all link to you just to the name of your website, but you ask them to link to you using different phrases that you're trying to rank for. The authoritative means make sure that they're in the same industry as you. If you have links pointing at you from crazy off-the-wall casino sites and you've joined some link farm and you're getting all kinds of links from pets.org and whatever, and your site's about cars, the search engines figure that out quickly and they're going to say, I'm not really going to count that link very much. So you want links from people who are in your own same business. So how do you build links? You can just ask, but that's not really a good idea. Better is to offer some content with a link in your story. So maybe you give somebody else a story about something and say, would you mind, if you want, here's some content for your site, just give me a link back if you use it. And you can do that through posting it to article sites or just contacting bloggers, because a lot of bloggers are desperate for more content for their site. You can do reciprocal linking. I'll link to you if you link to me, and that can work some. Some say it doesn't work at all. I believe it does. You can put your links on forums and blog posts and wikis, done right. You don't want to just spam it out there, but if you have something to contribute and you put a link in your signature, follow or no follow, I believe it has some value. And again, you're just playing nicely at the playground there. Directories. So there's Yahoo, Best of the Web, DMOZ, Librarians Index, Business.com. Just check and see if they're passing PageRank or not. And then decide if you want to pay the $300 a year for Yahoo or the Best of the Web costs. When it comes to DMOZ, go ahead and try, but it's really hard to get in, and it's not even clear if it's got enough value, but it doesn't hurt to take 15 minutes to go ahead and submit your site to DMOZ and see. You might get lucky. In 6 months, they might add you.
So when you're looking are you looking for a no-follow link in the source code on the page?
Yeah, I use a tool that it's a plugin for Firefox that lets me turn on if links are no-follow or not, and it highlights them. So I can pretty quickly tell, is this site using no-follow? No, but I'll get it for anybody who's interested. I'll post it on the SMC Ning site. Press releases, putting them up on PR Web or PR Log. Sending out articles to places like Easing Articles and putting up a Squidoo lens can be useful. Using social media like Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare, and social bookmarks like Dig, Reddit, StumbleUpon, and Delicious. So these should probably all be things you're somewhat familiar with. If not, we can make this presentation available to you all as well, so you can go back and review it. And then there's some more guerrilla stuff, which still I don't consider black hat. So if you're working with a charity and you're volunteering and you're donating your time and they don't mind giving you a little love back and linking to your site, that's pretty good because a .org site can be pretty valuable. You can send someone a testimonial and say, you know, I really love your product, and then they're going to put your name and maybe your website underneath your testimonial. So, you know, stroke their back and say, hey, you're great, ask for a link. You can create something that gets people to send traffic to you. So create discounts for groups or set up an affiliate type program that's going to get people to point at your site. You can use link bait. I love this image that I found. This one I do take credit for, only because I don't know, I Googled it. I Googled link bait and it came up with this. This is where you put up something on your website that is a calculator or something that lots of other people in your industry would just love to share, so that because it helps out their audience. So they'll link to your site, to your tool, and now you've got all those links pointing at you. So be careful with paid links. You definitely just don't want to join some place where you're paying for links. However, you can hire others to help you build links, and that's, in a sense, you're outsourcing your link building. And you can buy a domain that's for sale that already has a bunch of links pointing at it, and then redirect it to your site or use it. And that's a way of buying links in a way. I do like WordPress. It's very search engine friendly. Google seems to really like it. Some say it's easy to do all this, but ask yourself, what's the best use of your time? Do you do your own taxes? Do you do your own plumbing or your electrical work? If you're a handy person and you like to dig in and do all this stuff, great. But don't be afraid to outsource your SEO as well. There's plenty of people that can do a good job at it. Make sure you're doing what you're good at. And so that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's also lots of other things you can do to your website. You can optimize it. You can run analytics. You can create landing pages. You can do paid search, social media. You can make sure you're coming up on local listings, set up email lists and capture and newsletters. And there's just a ton of stuff in the whole world of online marketing. So SEO is just the beginning of it. And so that's my presentation. I'll turn it over to Brad.